Bonjour, bienvenue dans la good pod. Je m'appelle Jason Reed. And that's all the French I could muster at a short notice. I'm Jason Reed, as I said in French, if you know French. And I'm here with my co-host, the one, the only, the person that probably loves this episode of The Good Wife more than any other because of all the things and stuff going on with Alicia and Peter.
Ugh.
Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
Oui.
Oh, I should have done you good in French. I did all this stuff in French. I should have done you good in French.
What is that? Again, my brain is in Spanish and not in French, but we'll figure it out by the end of the pod.
You good in French?
I got the ending.
Tu es bon. Tu es bon.
Oui. Or se va. Like se va is like how are you? But tu es bon. Yeah.
Et tu es bon.
Yeah.
Oui.
Yeah.
Tu es bon. Oui. Yeah.
Oui.
All that
oui.
stuff. A very French episode of The Good Pod, as suggested by the title, Je ne sais what, of this episode, episode 12, season 4. Interesting episode for us because, we're currently in the middle of the Elsbeth season 3 shenanigans, and this episode features heavily the one and only Elsbeth. So exciting because it's always interesting to see the starts and origins of Elsbeth and how she has matured through the years, and to really compare her to the Elsbeth of today is really interesting. And we can get into like the differences and all that as we go through. Before we get too deep into the episode, we want to remind you of some free and easy ways you can help this podcast. You can do that by liking, reviewing, rating, subscribing, all that fun stuff you can do, whether you're watching or listening. All those things help us get into the eyes and ears of more people because it lets people know people like this show. So maybe we can push that content to people that like this show. So that will be a great help to us. If you just want to chop it up with us about any and everything, you can email us at thegoodpodfeedback@gmail.com. We also do have an additional way you can help this podcast. You can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com/goodpod. We had someone do that recently, a great supporter of the show. Marissa, do you have the name up? I don't have the name up.
Yes, it's Maria Elena.
Maria, thank you so much for your contribution. I know in the notes in the Buy Me a Coffee, you said you're not up with the Elsbeth yet, but you love the Good Pod recaps. So we thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your donation.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, merci beaucoup. Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. All right, so Marissa, with all that out of the way, let's get into the French connection that we got.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Well, this case of the week was actually like 2 separate cases of the week, but also one case of the week. So we're just gonna run it all down, and then we got some campaign stuff to talk about at the end. Elsbeth calls Alicia during breakfast from jail. We don't know she's in jail yet, but she's definitely in the police station, we can tell. She's like, hey, Alicia, I need your help on a case for my client. It's a contract arbitration. I am kind of stuck and not able to do it. Are you able to like help me out? Because I'm in jail. It's just like on my way.
Well, you shouldn't say she probably tells you like I'm at the police station. And,
yeah.
Alicia probably thinks like, oh, she's like visiting a client, like in jail or something. Of course, classic Elsbeth does not give all the details of like, hey, I'm in jail. If Alicia was like, why did you tell me you were in jail? Elsbeth would be like, would it have mattered? Like, what was the point? Why would I even tell you that?
Yeah. And she, just for, again, knowledge of the Chicagoland area, Elsbeth is in Skokie, which is closer to Wisconsin than Chicago-ish. Like it's up north. So it takes a bit for Alicia to get there. So when she gets there, she finds Elsbeth in a jail cell, and Elsbeth's like, yeah, so I was arrested while I was going after this guy named Simon Fassel. He's the CEO of this like athletic brand, and he rigged on a contract with my client. So I'm here, and there's also a hearing in 2 hours. Can you cover for me? And Alicia's like, well, I'm here in Skokie. I'm going to need some help. Let me call Will. And she does the call of basically like, hey, can you be at an arbitration in an hour? And he's like, I guess, like, I don't know. And literally the open sesame of this entire episode is it's Elsbeth Tascioni. It's like, oh, it's Elsbeth? I'll be right there.
I I really love that because I really enjoy. I don't know. The world feels genuine and real when
Mhm.
you feel the connection these people have to another person. Because Elsbeth, through the seasons, has helped every single one of our characters. So they feel this like connection and this obligation to Elsbeth because they all love Elsbeth. They're just like, oh my god, it's Elsbeth. I need to have Elsbeth. She is awesome. She is cool. So I love that feeling of connection between the characters.
And I would say, speaking for myself, Elsbeth was a character we did not have the language to really like describe. We did, but women were not really involved in being seen as neuro like diverse or anything like that. And I think it's really fun for me to see Elsbeth like accepted by people and like these people are dropping everything to help Elsbeth just because Elsbeth is Elsbeth. And I thought that's really heartwarming and like something good to see at least in 2025 for myself as well.
Yeah, people are giving up their weekend
Their
to help
weekends.
Elsbeth.
Their weekends. So Will takes on the arbitration. He's like, don't worry about this. Like, I'm just gonna ask for continuance. Worst comes to worst. Like, Elsbeth will take over on Monday. The opposing lawyer comes in and is like, sorry to lose Elsbeth. She was, a fun, entertaining opponent. And then Anna, the client, goes to Will, can you win? And Will is like, yes, we can win.
Will's like, oh yeah, especially since this guy's being a jerk. I hate people that are being jerks to me. I'm gonna win this thing.
Yes. Yes. So the point, the situation here is that Anna made a commercial. It never aired and she was never paid. But in the contract, the payment was not dependent on the distribution of the thing. So Will's going at this straight, like, hey, you said you were going to pay, you need to pay. That's what's going on. But the company is saying, yeah, but we have this clause that basically says that we can like terminate the contract at any time. And your client just was picked up for, or like not picked up for doping, but was banned from the world championships for doping. So now this contract is voided regardless. So we're not going to pay.
Yeah.
And that's like the contract part of it. And Elsbeth sees this as like, this is like kind of what Lewis Canning was doing to Alicia in the last episode, keeping Elsbeth away from the case, making sure she's in jail so she can't get to the arbitration in time. So now everyone is there and Will is taking it on.
Yeah,
and
I like.
she does tell Alicia, like, tell Will this is not a normal hearing. Like, this is, they operate under Swiss rules. And I love it when Will is in this environment.
Oh man, I think the show realizes we love when Will's in this situation because they throw Will into so many different like situations where he's uncomfortable. He doesn't know what he's doing. When you think about it, Will is like super basic. Will is only used to like American law and American courtrooms. Like America. He don't want nothing special. He don't want no military courtrooms. He doesn't want any French courtrooms. He doesn't want. I forgot what other courtrooms he's been in where he's been like so shocked and like. It's not exactly the kind of thing I do. Hell no. What is this? Because he gets to the CAS panel and is just so shocked. People start speaking in French. He's like, what? This is not fair. I'm American. I don't speak nothing but American.
Yeah. While he's doing that or getting there, Alicia is trying to get Elsbeth transferred to the city for convenience sake, but the judge makes a call and he's like, can't do it because we're doing a psychic eval apparently, which is a little troubling for the team. But once Will gets to the track where the arbitration is going, he's like, okay, there's 3 judges here, I got this is it, I know what to do. And then, like you were saying, Jason, I am not a good French speaker. I don't know what to say. I don't want to say anything inappropriate.
I want you to continue speaking the French gibberish, like just making up things. Go ahead.
No.
Anna's it's a dirty.
Okay, so Will hears all this French and he's like, excuse me, like, no offense. He's like trying to be so like gentle about this, but he's like, hi, I don't speak French. Is there any way at all that this could be done in English? And the guy next to him says, he's just in French. He's just a victim of the U.S. education system. And so the lead judge in the arbitration is like, well, for your benefit, Mr. Gardner, we will do this in English. You may proceed. And Will's like, with what? Like, this is like,
what?
This is not what I'm used to. Like, what am I proceeding with?
Like, you're gonna need to help me out here. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Listen, I love how Will, carefully treaded, like, he was like, hey, you're in America. You speak English, okay?
Season 1 Will would have had a different response for sure. I think like he's been through a couple of like off kilter type of moments. Like he went into that military courtroom for the first time and was like, "This is not how you do things." And so now he's like kind of like, "Okay, I need to adapt to the environment that I'm in. Let me see what's going on."
I've had enough people pissed at me because I thought I was like throwing my weight around to understand I need to tread carefully here. So I love the people that are like, oh yes, Mr. Gardner, we will abide to you. We will bow to you and let you do this in English if that's what you need. Fine. And I just loved how they were just like looking down at him and be like, oh, you peasant, only speak one language.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It is the detriment to the American education system and also the American society as a whole. Like, we should be speaking multiple languages. Just FYI, I will die on that hill. That is something that is putting us at a disadvantage all the way around the world. And I don't know why everyone has to speak English and Americans don't have to learn any other languages. I will step off my soapbox. But yes, like, it's important, in my opinion.
I agree.
In my opinion, Jason.
Yes, in your opinion.
Basically, in this arbitration, the accused has to prove they didn't do it. So it has to come up with their defense. And so Will's like, listen, Anna passed every single test. And the guy on the other side is like, yeah, she did. However, there was ghosting that was identical to the notorious 6 or the big 6. And these apparently were 6 people who were kicked out because of doping. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of whoa, French. And it comes out that there was a carrier that saw drugs being brought to Anna at night. And so there's a vote whether to, like, Will's like, cool, great, let's talk to this guy. Let's bring up this witness. And they're all like, there's no witness. Like, okay, let him speak in the chair that is here.
There's not a stand, Mr. Gardner. He's like, all right, well, I mean, let him sit over there in the freaking chair.
That place.
Like, I love it. Will's like, I object. He's like, there is no objection here, Mr. Gardner. This is not law and order, okay?
It's very, yeah. But we learn through this vote that there is, the 3 judges are there for a reason. There is a vote. It's a 2-1 vote. So therefore, the courier is going to be brought in. At this point, Will's like,
what's the witness that saw the courier?
Right. Yeah. Yes, the witness that saw the courier. Will's like, be right back. I'm going to need some help.
And who is my most cultured friend that I can call on here?
So perfect. I love this so much because, Christine Baranski's supremacy in all of my podcasts and in all of my life. I love her so much. But yes, Diane is waiting, just in her office. She's thinking, she's going to the spa. She's looking at a brochure for the spa. She's looking to, also, like, it is the weekend, but she's sitting in the office looking at a spa brochure. A little weird. But Will goes, how good is your French? And she's like, what do you mean? Like, they're talking in French. She's like, okay, and she knows some French. Okay, so
she rattles off some French. I don't know what she said, but she rattled off some fancy sounding French words.
Yes, exactly. And Diane's like, Will, what is this? And he's like, it's for a friend. She's like, okay, and he goes, it's Elsbeth. Like, oh, I'll be right there. Again,
love it.
The secret word. So Elsbeth is being prepped for her psych eval in jail by Alicia.
Well, can I just say how much I love the fact that, when Alicia's talking to the judge, first of all, Alicia's like trying to hold it together because the judge is like, just like,
eating.
How's Peter doing? How's Peter? She's like, fine. He's like, that bitch is really nipping at his heels. Huh? And Alicia's like, don't say anything crazy. Yes, that bitch is really nipping at his heels. Yeah, oh yeah. And so it totally makes sense that Elsbeth's, this kind of modus operandi triggers a psych evaluation. Like, I don't even think it was anything like underhanded. I think everyone, like, people just saw Elsbeth, how she was like acting, like
Yes.
this person might need some help, some other help we can't give right now. So let's get her psyche eval. And I was like, it makes total sense. It really does.
Well, and I also think it was a delay tactic. It was and something that it was a vulnerability that they could exploit, like from the other side, and
Yeah.
it was a delay.
Maybe,
So
but it's not something that you'd be like, for Elsbeth? No, what do you mean?
Oh
You'd be
no,
like,
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I get it. I see. It's like, because the judge is like, is your client erratic? It's like, uh-oh, what's going on now? It's like they're under a psych eval for. He's like, yeah, makes sense.
Well, and I love this because the way that Alicia is prepping Elsbeth is she's explaining how these questions are asked. And okay, Elsbeth, taking Elsbeth out of the equation, this is set up for you to fail, basically. There's a lot of pauses in between the questions. So if you're nervous, you're probably going to talk. You're probably going to say something. And at this point, Elsbeth's like, do I talk too much? Is that something I need to worry about? And also they ask like compound questions. Like, do you, like the one that's asked actually in the psych eval is like, do you feel guilty about drinking or using chemicals? And like they're two unrelated things, but they're tied together with the word we're guilty. And like chemicals, what? You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways that you could answer this question.
Well, yeah, if you say no, he's like, oh, so you don't feel guilty about using chemicals.
Exactly.
Like, no, I don't use chemicals. Like, what do you mean? It's like,
well, but I mean, everyone uses, everything is a chemical. Like it's such a hard question to answer because it's not like I'm sitting here sniffing chemicals, but at the same time, I use soap. You know, like
cut to Marissa's like part of the room we don't see. It's like bottles of glue and an air duster just surrounding Marissa.
I got the Breaking Bad RV in the back. No, I don't. But I'm just saying it's not set up well for anyone, let alone Elsbeth, who will overthink every single thing and try to find different angles to different things. So Will brings the teammate that saw Anna receive this package from this courier onto the stand, the chair, the place. And they say the night before London, which I'm assuming is the Olympics, she saw a courier bring a bottle of pills to Anna, and Anna went into the bathroom. And it was from Nelson, who was one of the notorious six. The difference here is that Diane is there. And so the judges start yakshimashing, which is in Polish. They start talking in French. And she is able to break in to the French babble and say, hey, this is really isn't fair. And while she has the advantage, will like ask for something, anything, just ask for something, like get out of this. And so she asks for a break, and because she speaks French, the French judge is like, wait, of course, yes. You can have a break, of course. Speaking of which, we should probably mention the actors who are playing Judge Villapique and Anna.
Judge Villapique is again one of those character actor guys. He has a Ronald Gutman. Does not sound very French, but I feel like whenever I see him, he has like this like kind of affected accent. So I don't know where
of sorts.
Yeah, I don't know where his roots are, but I know him from All My Children, where he played like a very villainous person. He was the Satin Slayer, and he was like a serial killer. He ended up killing a lot of the ladies of Fusion Cosmetics, which at the time, for a young Jason in his prime, I was mad because he was taking away all of my eye candy from All My Children. Also killed Dixie Martin. How dare he? I think this is what caused. Is this what caused the recast for Dixie to Kelly Giddish, who has been on The Good Wife and is currently on her SVU?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was the catalyst for that or not, but he killed Dixie, a beloved character, and he killed a lot of fine-looking ladies. So for a young Jason, I gotta understand he was I felt a very certain way about that. But
Not that
that's
you're
why,
holding like a grudge or anything, or if
not
you
at
haven't
all,
really
not
like
at
worked
all.
it out in therapy or anything like that.
Not at all. I saw Judge Villepique and I was like, I hate this guy for some reason. Why do I? And I looked at him, I was like, oh yeah, he's that guy. um, Anna is played by Elizabeth Alderfer, which she's not like hugely famous, but she's been in some interesting things. United States of Al. I don't know if anyone remembers this sitcom.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like it was about a soldier who returned home and got like an interpreter he met over there, got him over to the United States to like live with him. It was a whole thing. She was also in AP Bio. I did not watch that show. It sounds like a show you would have watched though.
I did not, but it is
Oh,
something that I probably would enjoy.
yeah,
I think I just missed it. Yeah.
school stuff. Yeah.
Whatever.
You
Jason.
know, you love school stuff. You love smarty pants stuff. So yeah, those Anna and Judge Villepique. No one out here that's like crazy famous, like we're kind of used to. But yeah, just a little
Just some
casting.
peeps. Some peeps. So after Diane asks for the break, they take 30 minutes to head back to the office. And this is where we find out that Nelson, one of the Notorious Six, the guy who brought the drugs over, was Anna's boyfriend. And this is like, well, got to be hiding something. We got to check with Elsbeth. Like, we got to get some more information. Meanwhile, Elsbeth is in her psych eval and she is being asked questions like, do you feel guilty about drinking or using chemicals? Which is so great. And her answer is very Elsbeth. Well, like, I don't feel guilty about drinking and I don't use chemicals, which I'm assuming you're thinking is chemical substances. Yeah. And so, yes, but then at the end, she laughs. And this kind of tips off the questioner, the evaluator, basically. It's like, what are you laughing at? She's like, oh, it's just the oddity of human behavior. And then I don't know how her brain does it. I don't know how she jumps from that to Anna must have been pregnant.
Yeah, I don't like, you know, especially in the current Elsbeth series, you usually get a good like indication of why she has a eureka moment. But this eureka moment came out of nowhere for her, and it's just like, oh, wait a minute. And you could like, it was funny because in the beginning of the psych test, you can tell she's trying really hard to focus. She's trying like really hard. And Alicia told her before, like just stay in the silences. Do not fill the silence. Just let it go. And she tries real hard. But she doesn't quite get there. She starts talking about the human oddity, and then boom, she talks about the chemical that was found in the testing and what that chemical might be, where the hormones are concerned. And I don't know what, like, did Elsbeth go to like medical school or something? Like, how does she know this? But as she will say later, she does not know how she knows half the stuff she knows.
Which is so great.
Which is so funny. So Elsbeth just kind of determines for herself that the reasoning for the elevated levels of whatever hormone is because Anna was pregnant at the time of the testing. So ooh.
Yes, not like a drug test would be biased towards women and not be able to figure out if this was a pregnancy hormone or not. What? I don't know. What? Because did you know that like they didn't start doing medical testing on women until just a few years ago? Did you know that? Isn't that something that makes you feel good about the American medical
society,
system?
Marissa? What do you mean?
So
this society that takes great care of their female citizenry? What? No way! Get out of here! Get out of town! And so Elsbeth, as Elsbeth likes to do, like puts everything together. She's like, okay, she was pregnant, and those drugs that were delivered to her, or whatever you want to call them, that were delivered to her, were more likely
mifepristone,
drugs that would make her not pregnant anymore.
Correct. Yes. Which is like a drug that's still under scrutiny today and all this other stuff. But you should remember they are in Europe. So this guy was able to go get mifepristone on his own and bring it to her, probably for free. Yes. So, well, once they know this information, Diane and Will are like, listen, Anna, you gotta say something. You gotta tell them, because if you tell them, we can defend you with the truth. You're in the clear. You're going to get your money, all of this stuff. And Anna's like, no way, Jose. Like, there is no way I'm doing this. My family's going to freak out. My sister's going to freak out. And so Will strangely asks, what do you want us to do? She's like, defend me with whatever you can. And he's like, a lie?
Like, Will, my guy. I don't think you're like above defending someone with a lie. We've seen you do it a few hundred different times. See, I Diane basically like I like how Diane boils it down. She's like, listen, on one end, you got $5 million and you'll be able to race. On the other end, it's your family.
Nada.
Like this is what you like. If you don't do it, you got nothing. 5 mil, nothing. And Anna is like insistent. She cannot tell her family that she went through with an abortion. She cannot do it. She cannot break the heart. She's willing to do away with the 5 million. She won't run the race. Her name will probably be like disgraced for saying she was doping or whatever. So she's willing to do away with all that just to not admit that she had an abortion.
Yeah, and I think also during this, she says multiple times like, I was pregnant and I wanted to medal. I was pregnant and I wanted to medal. I don't know what the rules are on if pregnant athletes can participate in the thing or not, but I think it's like what happened was a symptom of ambition than anything else.
Yeah.
And like honor and pride and all of that stuff, because if she didn't have to worry about her family, but even if she was worried about her family, if she wasn't showing and it was safe to run, she could have ran and then dealt with the pregnancy later. But if there was any way that this is going to break the rules, I am assuming this was a choice she had to make.
Hey, pregnant women can do anything.
Pregnant women can do anything.
If you watch, spoiler alert for the challenge coming up, but if you watch the challenge, literally a pregnant woman just won the challenge, not even knowing she was pregnant. And they climbed a mountain in that challenge finale. It was brutal. So pregnant women can do anything. My questioning was also like, when is all this timeline taking place? Because when Alicia and Elsbeth are talking about when the testing
it's during
was
done, the Olympics, I think, and this was in preparation for the Worlds.
But we used that test from months ago to like.
Oh, no. The drugs were delivered during the Olympics. The test was taken in preparation. So they're tested multiple weeks up into the competition.
Right. But she wouldn't have those elevated levels anymore because she's not pregnant anymore, right? Because she got tested months ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know.
Because Alicia's like, well, she didn't have a baby anymore. Oh, it's like, oh, I see. Okay. So this is months ago, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like the timeline is not timelining for me.
Yeah, but this is also not lining up for me. Alicia at this point calls Peter. She's feeling some sort of way, which we'll talk about it. Yeah. But basically tells Peter what's going on, and Peter is hopeful in this moment. He says, do you want me to make a call? And she's like, really? You would do that? And he's like, who is it? Elsbeth Tascioni. Oh, can't do it for her because it'll look political instead of personal. But then Peter leaves the call saying, hey, question the arrest and like the constitutionality of the arrest. If the arrest isn't good, the rest of the case isn't good. Which is also something that is being tried in a very public case at the moment for one Luigi Mangione. So just FYI, always make sure if you are arrested, take mental notes where you read your rights, were you arrested by the right people in the right place at the right time. Not maybe so the right time, but anywho, so then we get Dr. Crawford on the stand. I'm just going to call it the stand at the arbitration. I recognize this guy who is Otto in the Essendoa from The Diplomat. If you have not watched The Diplomat, it is very Good Wife vibes, very Good Wife coded, but like international. Okay. And he was also in Chicago Med. So
listen, I have recently been like bamboozled into watching that show All Her Fault.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What do you think?
I'm 2 episodes in. I'm just like, I don't see what the big deal is.
Talk to me later.
All right. I guess.
Dr. Crawford's on the stand. He is the lead chemist and he tests all of the things. And he also is the one who made the discovery of this ghosting, of this basically result here. And Diane is like, have you ever seen this drug? Is it a thing? Or like basically trying to question, is this just an assumption? Or have you seen that this drug actually exists? And he's like, I haven't seen that it exists. But like when a plane goes through the sky and there's contrails, you know, a plane has been there, basically. And so, yeah, they're doing all this stuff. There's a lot of conversation. The guy next door, the opposing lawyer person is like, if we're gonna do this on metaphor, like we're done here. Like this is basically it. And there's more discussion, and French judge guy tells Will, because he's arguing as he does, that Will is not Rambo. Okay,
This is not Rambo, Mr. Gardner.
it's not Rambo. And also in the conversation, Diane picks up in French that the rules don't require here actual proof, so they're gonna have to find some other way. So they put Kalinda on the case and they ask her to review Elsbeth's quote unquote notes. They look like my notes sometimes. I don't know what I'm writing down. I don't know what I'm saying, but I would know what it was if I looked at it. But I cannot tell any rationale.
They look like some notes that Elsbeth would take. Like they look like notes that I would take. Like look at these notes. Like
yes, exactly.
It's the notes of a scattered minded person. They're just kind of all over the place. No one else can understand it except for you who wrote the notes.
Yes. And she explains to Kalinda that the burden of proof is on the innocent here, and the best plan of attack here is to attack the 3 pillars, and she has to remember them from her own brain. She's like analysis, confidentiality, and chain of custody.
I do love I love the pairing of Kalinda and Elsbeth, because Kalinda, who is so like straightforward and no nonsense, talking to Elsbeth, who is nothing but nonsense. Elsbeth's like, and what are the other ones? Kalinda's like, I don't know. She's like, no, I'm talking to myself. Like, I just love how Kalinda's like, okay. It gives very like straight man and working off of the other person.
Yes. I also want to mention here that Kalinda mentions that Diana is working on the case. And through this entire time, Elsbeth has been so like, she's talking to Alicia. She's like, oh, Will's on the case? Oh my gosh.
Touched. Yeah.
I love Will. I was so sad when he was suspended. Diane's on the case. Oh my gosh, she's so elegant. Like she's such a fan. Like it kind of like puts us in her seat a little bit, because being fans of the show. So Alicia and Geneva are trying to get Elsbeth's arrest figured out.
Big Geneva episode. I love that. I loved having Geneva front and center. I'm trying to remember the last time we've even seen Geneva in court. Like it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. And I just love this, because she's just like, this is stupid. Like I don't know why we're doing this. But Alicia is arguing that Elsbeth left campus property, and because she was arrested by campus police, this arrest has no legal bounds at all. And of course, Geneva's like, this is what? And then Alicia goes, well, yeah, and also the parking garage where Elsbeth was arrested is owned by Illinois Trust and Bank. So it wasn't even owned by the university. So at this point, Geneva goes, this is ludicrosity, some sort of word. And I love how the judge is like, huh?
The judge is the same judge that was, talking to Alicia earlier. Is like, this, everyone here except for Geneva, who is just pounding her fist about the point. It's like, this is stupid. Like, why are we here? Why are we doing this? and it turns into like this like whole dispute of like who owns a parking lot on what level and what floor. Like, is it in the campus security's jurisdiction to arrest Elsbeth? It gets to a whole issue of semantics, and the lawyer for Robos is back there, like as we've seen a couple episodes ago, with all the whispering back and forth between different lawyers, right? So that guy is back there like giving Geneva some pointers, and she's going back and forth, and you got Alicia and Elsbeth trying to confer. The judge is like, all right, like listen, bro, like y'all get your acts together, and then come back. We'll figure this out. Like, no.
I did love in that scene though how this is where Elsbeth is whispering to Diane, but not the second and third floors. And she's like, how do you know that? And she's like, I don't know.
I don't know
how I know half the things I know, which is very relatable in my opinion for myself. But yes, she was apparently arrested just for laying the facts of the case down on the 3rd floor stairwell, which is not necessarily under the purview of the university because they are only on the 1st and 4th floors.
I feel like if this was like if we were watching Elsbeth, right, we would have seen like security footage from the garage of Elsbeth
Yes.
harassing the CEO and how that would have gone. I would have appreciated seeing this. I think that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Whatever she was saying to this man that got her arrested.
It's probably like, excuse me, sir, you dropped something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be, she doesn't come
It's
out
your morals.
until till the end. Back at the hearing, Diane is testing the chain of custody theory, and basically establishes that there was a delay in the shipping of the sample. And when there was a delay in the shipping of the sample, it constitutes a break in the chain of custody, and the test must be discarded by the rules of the organization itself. And the other side is basically saying, well, the timing wouldn't change the result. So I don't know what we're talking about here, but it is the rules. And the judges go back to their talking in French, and Diane picks up by listening to her French that the German judge is against us right now, but is swayable. So, you know, and the French judge is still like, I don't know why they have to be Rambo.
He loves Rambo for some reason.
Yes.
I love Will's like, who even watches Rambo? Like, what is he talking about?
Back in court, Geneva argues that, okay, fine, whoever owns whatever, there is something called the hot pursuit doctrine, which is basically like, once you're in pursuit of someone, you can finish it out. And Elsbeth is trying to not whisper, so she tries to scribble something on, but Alicia has this, and Alicia says, yeah, but that only applies in emergency situations. In the end, the judge rules that the arrest was legal, and Alicia moves directly to go to bond so that she can post bail.
I love how, like, you know, Alicia's trying to get the judge to just let Elsbeth go bail out, go bond out. Let's not do with the whole like going back to jail or whatever. Let's just let her bond out. And Geneva, who I think just by principle does not want to let Elsbeth like get out of this so easily. She's like, no, she must go back to jail. And the judge is like, all right, like relax. And he says, you know, when the law is an ass, someone has to kick it. I was like, yeah, I like you, Judge. You're one of the judges I like.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, outside of that bitch comment from earlier.
Yeah, that was not great. At the arbitration, the judges come back and decide against the charge of custody argument and basically call it guidelines. This is a Will Gardner classic fire up. He's like, oh, they're just guidelines now? What are you talking about? You're changing the rules. What all this stuff? At the same time, again, picturing we are in a track house, we are in a field house. Coming down the track is none other than Elsbeth Tascioni, recently posted bail.
I feel like you can only do this with Elsbeth. Like, Elsbeth is the only person that can do it in this way and make it really work.
Yes, and when she gets there, she's like, so sorry, I'm late. She knows French, she's doing her thing, but then she's also like,
Yeah.
So good to see you, Diane. Oh my gosh, that dress is so elegant. And the judge is like, hello.
Love it.
What are we doing? And Elsbeth goes, okay, well, I got one more witness to call, and I want to call Diedrich Klein. And everyone's like, ooh, Diedrich Klein, the cyclist? Like, what? I don't know. We should do this. Lots of arguing, lots of stuff. And at this point, Elsbeth, who I'm sure would have done this the entire time if she was there, but she does call for a vote by raise of hands so that we can see who's voting for what. And the other two judges, besides the French judge, vote for bringing the cyclist in. So Mr. Klein comes in. He was kicked out of cycling 2 years ago. He appealed. There was no evidence. So he was the ruling stayed. Funny thing about that is that the French judge was on that panel, or was the guy who was arguing against him, and basically wanted the Mr. Klein, who is for Germany, out so that the French guy could come in. This gets the French guy, or the German judge, like, what do you mean you were doing blah, 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 back and forth. And the French judge is like, listen, the arbitration's confidential. And Elsbeth's like,
not so fast.
Unless he waives it, which he did. And so at the end of this, Will goes, I just realized something. You're Rambo.
Yeah, talk to Elsbeth. Like, yeah, Elsbeth is Rambo, which I think is a really apt, like, weirdly a really apt comparison. Just someone that like goes like all out to whatever it is they need to do to win. Because that's what Elsbeth do. And this is a classic like Elsbeth maneuver. Like,
Yes.
like not even arguing legal precedent or anything like that. Like not like arguing facts. She's doing this based on people's feelings and based on like pitting people against each other, because like the other two like people on the panel are basically just like mad at the French guy because the French guy pulled strings to get his cyclist to win because he got the other guy banned, and who happens to be a German cyclist, and we happen to have a German judge, and I think the other guy was an Egyptian judge. Like, oh
Italian.
yeah,
No, the cyclist's hearing took place in Egypt, but the other judge was Italian, who also had eyes for Kalinda because they made Kalinda come in.
Like, Kalinda, come on in, get in here with the eye candy. Come on, we got Italian here. You know, they're hot blooded. So yeah, I mean, Elsbeth does this by like just kind of manipulating people, I guess.
I mean, yeah,
they're turning against the French guy.
Well, and I think if we look at this with the eyes of current Elsbeth, is this something, because Elsbeth in 2005, Elsbeth on Elsbeth's show, talks about how she kind of regrets how she manipulated people and she regrets how she does this, but I don't necessarily see this as malicious manipulation. I think the whole thing about the law is manipulation.
Yeah,
like for your benefit.
I don't think that applies here because she's I think in Elsbeth's mind she's doing this for a good cause. Right? Yeah, I think if 2025 Elsbeth looked at 2014 Elsbeth and she's like, okay, you did good there, Elsbeth, because you did the right you did maybe a not great thing for a good reason. And I wouldn't even say it's like a not great thing. It's like she did something like underhanded. She just appealed to people's.
She played the room. She read the room. Yeah, she played it
exactly.
And she also was so excited to be arrested. It was so funny. She was so into it.
And little did she know she would it would happen again many years later, and she would go to prison and have a musical dream.
Yes. Okay, so those were our cases of the week. We also had some movement in the campaign. This entire episode opened while Alicia was having some thoughts.
Some unpure thoughts. I wasn't sure if this was a like a reminiscence of an experience, or she was like just daydreaming and was like thinking of something to happen. I think based on Peter later, I think this was a daydream of like something she wanted to happen. She wanted, she needed some satisfaction, if you will. She was really feeling it. She was really. I don't know where this came from. I don't know either. She just really wanted some. Like, but I'm not sure though, because Grace
could do that.
Huh?
Women could do that. They could have. Everybody could do that.
I know.
Yeah.
But like, and Grace walks to the kitchen. She's like, you know, Mom, I really like your hair. Right? I was like, is this like just got freshly effed hair? Like, what does she mean? Like, what is this? So I wasn't sure if this was something that just happened last night,
or she was having one of her. We have seen her daydream about Will before in bed with some movements. Yeah. So maybe she was having one of those moments before breakfast.
I know you wanted the man in the bed to be Will.
Sure did. Well, it wasn't Peter, because like I told you before, this wasn't a bed and not in the bathroom. So therefore, it was not Peter.
Yeah. So, you know, she was having some thoughts.
She was having some thoughts
while making breakfast.
With some breakfast. Meanwhile, over at the campaign office, Eli is introducing Jordan to the press, so he's officially on board over there. And while he's doing that, he gets interrupted because Zach has a phone call for him.
Oh, brother!
Because Zach is the only person who could have figured this out. The only person who could have seen this. Zach was on
a freaking Encyclopedia Brown, man. the only computer, the only 16-year-old computer whiz that can figure this thing out. Not any other person that went to college for computer science that's working on the staff, or anybody else that's chronically online. Only Zachary Florick, 16-year-old Zachary Florick, could figure this out.
Yeah, and this is basically that they linked to some like files. It's like basically like you took a Google Drive link, and the Google Drive link was for anyone with the link. But they could.
She accidentally left it. Maddie Howard accidentally left. Is that Maddie Howard? Maddie Hayward. Maddie Hayward,
I
right?
don't know. Every time I see her, I still see her as Abby.
Yeah. She accidentally left a file on her website that showed that Peter has some bias.
Yeah, basically, like they've been doing opposition research on him, and that there's racial bias here, and there's two ASAs who are willing to come on the record, and Eli is like, okay,
All right, Zach,
like send me
relax.
your screenshot. We'll see where this goes. It looks as though there's like this event where the candidates are speaking to business owners, I think,
Yeah.
and Maddie is giving her speech about how she's a pure capitalist. She is a feminist. She just wants business to happen with like women and minorities.
Uh-oh.
And she sees how racial bias is an impediment to business. And you could see, like, first of all, Jordan, aka George, aka 007 from Grey's Anatomy, is like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
Like, what's going up? And Eli didn't tell him, even though he probably could have and should have.
Oh, yeah.
But that he uses this to his advantage to say, like, oh, well, we've got some insider information. There's two ASAs. After this conversation, Maddie comes in and says, hey, I want to talk about the debates to Peter. And Maddie wants 4, but Eli says there's only 1, and Eli speaks for Peter. So,
and I love Maddie. Like, oh, say hello to Alicia for me. Oh,
yeah, so rough.
So, ooh, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
So rough. So Eli, in front of Peter and Jordan, talk about the whole race bias thing, and it's like, where'd you get this from? Who? Zach? And Jordan's like, who? And then because it's Zach, Peter's like, oh, okay. I think about it. I'll think about it.
Well, I mean, and Jordan does not want them to talk about this at all.
Yes, he says race is a scab, don't pick at it, especially in 2012. I think that we were, even though Obama had promised a conversation about race, that did not go over well.
Ooh,
not
yeah. Yeah, because and Eli wants to face it head on. Jordan's like, don't even like pay it any attention, just let it go. Yeah. So that's kind of the binary choice right now. Do we call attention to it or do we ignore it?
Yeah. In my notes I wrote, Peter in his infinite wisdom decides to talk to Geneva about how he's doing his job. This was like, Peter does so many stupid things, okay? But this, I don't know if it's my 2025 eyes or what, but I'm like, oh my God, this is the lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, I cannot believe this is a conversation that's actually happening.
True. That's true. I think Peter had this like thought of like, I'm not racially biased. Like, listen, I'll ask the black lady that I know if I'm racially biased. And watch this, y'all. Watch this. She gonna say I'm not. Watch. Geneva, girl. He'd probably like, girl. Am I racially biased? And they'd be like, Geneva's like, yeah. Peter's like, what? What do you mean? I'm racially biased? And props 100% to Geneva.
Yes.
Renee Lee's Goldberry, who's like, hell yeah, you racially biased, my G. You fired /demoted 5 African Americans in the last like year. And she spells it out. She's like, you fired WSC, Wendy Scott Carr. You demoted Dana.
Apparently she's still around.
Apparently she's walking around the building somewhere. We don't know. What were they gonna have her do? Child support enforcement or something?
Yeah.
And and this is the kicker. She's like, you promoted Carrie, who had like no experience.
Yeah.
Over me, Geneva, and Matan, who have 2 decades more experience than Carrie. But because you like Carrie, for some reason, you decide to promote him.
And Peter is so defensive. He's like, but wait, there are reasons. And Geneva's response is great. She's like, there's always reasons. There's always reasons, but this is the outcome of the situation. And I just want to say, fellow white people, do you see the amount of work Geneva did in this conversation? Do you see the amount of work that she, as a black woman, did for a white man named Peter? Do not ask your black friends, do not ask the black people around you if you are racially biased and have them do the work for you. Look inside first. Ask yourself these questions. Be self-aware. And like maybe ask if there's a specific example that could be considered racially biased or racial, like something like that. But just the general question of like, basically, hey, am I a racist?
Yeah, and can you only imagine if, while she might even have some sort of inkling, if Geneva knew about the conversations between Carrie and Peter
Yes.
when Carrie had that, like, when he admitted to Peter about him stripping Dana while Dana was his like subordinate, and how Peter just like, don't worry about it, bro, I got you. Like, imagine, like, she even had more of a case. So I love how she's like, yeah, there's always, because I mean, yeah, Peter's like, hey, like those are all firings and emotions that were warranted. She's like, yeah, there are always reasons, but it's about who you're listening to.
Yeah.
It's about whose opinion, whose thoughts you're taking into consideration. You didn't give Dana, or I mean, listen, when's our car had out for his ass? But you didn't give Dana a chance to even like explain herself or explain her side of the story. You didn't let the guy that had sex on your couch talk. You just fired them. But everyone else, you know, and she didn't even bring up the fact that he just walked into the room with Hellinger and gave her a job at the ASA's office on the recommendation of Alicia. You know, she didn't even go into that. There's so many things that we as the audience know Peter has done, and we've talked about Peter's like implicit bias before. How no, it's not explicit, but it's very implicit. He doesn't. Peter is definitely the type of person that'd be like, but I don't see color. That's the problem, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta see color.
Well, and it's even more exemplified in the speech that he gives. Well, first of all, Geneva's like, you're doing all this and you're not going to go speak at the Minority Rights Coalition. Like, this is a slap in the face to all of us who are there because we're doing all this work for you. Like, we're standing by you and you're not even going to stand up for us. And so he gives his speech.
Yeah.
And
I did want to say, we talked about power dynamics last episode with Carrie and Clark. This was an even more extreme version of that because, like, Peter, they begin this conversation by Peter being like, hey, we're just, you can tell he's very like, he's trying to figure out how to do this. He tries to tiptoe into it. He's like, hey, am I racially biased? And Geneva, like, looks at him with this blank stare of like, I don't know what to do right now. Like,
well, and then he's like, don't worry.
Hey,
and like, these are like the most dangerous words you could hear in any meeting, in any situation. There will be no repercussions. You will not be persecuted for your response.
You know who else was told that? The guy that had sex on Peter's couch.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that's what Carrie said to that guy. Carrie was like, nothing's going to happen. Carrie, by the way, totally absent from this episode.
Okay, but I think like he's going to come and I can't remember, but he has that couch information.
I don't know if that's going to come back up. I don't know. But Carrie totally got like, listen, nothing's going to happen. Peter just wants to know, okay? Like, you're not going to get in trouble. Carrie knew his ass was lying at that moment.
Right.
And Geneva's like, you can tell the look on G, like, should I say what I want to say right now? Like, she has to make that call, that decision. It's a very pivotal decision in that moment because if she tells the truth, she does not know what's going to happen. Because Peter can say till he's blue in the face, there will be no repercussions.
Well, and there's the power dynamic of boss and employee. There's the power dynamic of man and woman, and not only man and woman, but a man who has a history of doing things to women when they are alone with him. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, he wasn't arrested for sexual. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot at play here. There's a lot of different things going on.
He's someone that's used to using his power in bad ways. Yeah.
Well, and he's also like, I'm sure he went into this, like you said, thinking he was going to be validated and reaffirmed. And the only way when a man like that, like Peter, the only thing he knows in terms of how to get himself out of that is through power, is through abusing power and all of that. So that puts Geneva in a very dangerous situation. So I like how she said some things, but not all things. You know, like,
I think she said enough.
She said enough, but she didn't like.
She said more than she needed to say. She really took a risk by doing and saying what she did. So I'm proud of Geneva. I'm sure she really cares what I think, but I'm proud of the fictional character of Geneva.
Well, and she says to him, like, rethink all your promotions. And it's this time I'm like, do not just promote Geneva right now. Like, just don't, like, yes,
Yeah.
but like, don't, like, that's not what she's saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he hears that from like the power side, and he's gonna be like, oh, she's asking for something.
I'll
You know
fix
what
it.
I mean?
I'll
Yeah.
fix it by promoting the black lady.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. So he goes to give a speech at the Minority Rights Coalition. It's very cringeworthy, Jason. It's just so bad. He says, I've made mistakes, but I want to learn. And my office prosecutes more African Americans than any other race, and I want to know why. And I'm like, bro, you're in charge. Like, this is bad. And you can hear like the audience is booing behind him and all of this stuff. So I don't know what else he says, but you can only imagine what the rest of the speech was like based on those two sound clips that we got.
Yeah, it's giving like I want to be awoken. I want to wake up. Like, I don't know. It gives ingenuine, really.
Well,
it gives pandering a little bit.
He doesn't take responsibility for what he
True.
was wrong about or what mistakes he made. He just makes a very blanket statement of like, I've made mistakes. Well, Peter, we've all made mistakes. What mistakes are you specifically talking about? Show me that you have the self-awareness to know what was right and what was wrong in those situations. And then don't say, I want to learn, and put it on the Minority Rights Coalition to teach you how to learn how to do these things. You know what I mean? Like, bad. Again, we have much different eyes than we did in 2012, but it's still very cringy.
And then put it on Obama to be like, Obama said we have a discussion about race in this country and we've never had it. Like, oh, that's not Obama's fault. Like, chill.
He tried, and you guys messed it up. But anywho, you guys being white men specifically. But
you guys.
And while this is going on, Maddie is pressuring Eli. She's like, okay, 3 debates. And Eli's like, if you give us 2 town halls, we'll give you 2 debates. Or 3 debates. And Jordan is there, like, holding out his hand, ready to shake on 3. Then he hears all this stuff about that Peter is saying while he's giving his speech. And he tells Eli, like, look, I don't like to make trouble, but there are some times when you should just listen to me because I know what I'm doing.
And yeah, Jordan's trying to really kind of like strong arm his way into power here. And Eli's like, no. Jordan does not speak for me. He does not speak for the campaign. Relax. And Maddie, Maddie's smart because Maddie's like, I know if I get this idiot Peter Florrick on a debate stage,
for sure,
he's going to put his foot in his mouth a minimum of 5 times.
Like he just did. Like, listen, look
at him there. She's like, how about 5 debates? How about 8? Like, I want to get this guy on his back foot to really get his ass speaking some dumb stuff. So, and I think because Maddie's like, yeah, give me all the debates. He was like, no. I know my guy. You were getting 1 debate. You only get 1 shot at that apple.
Yeah. So after the speech,
your favorite part. Here we come. Let's go. Oh, what? No. Yeah, for sure.
Peter goes back to apparently the trailer that was set up for him. I was like, there's no bus. It was like a trailer. Definitely on a sound stage. They couldn't find a bus. This is what I'm thinking. But anyway, and Alicia's there. And
Alicia's there with the eyes.
Yeah, just like Peter's like, hey, you want a bite? And she's like, I want a bite of something. And so things happen. And Eli is outside knocking on the door. Hey. Peter says, I need a minute. And Alicia's like, a minute? And goes, a campaign minute. And then there's a lot of rocking and rolling.
Woo! Buddy. Alicia had a mission. She needed it completed. Okay.
Yes.
She had an urge, and she needed that urge to be fulfilled. I don't know if that bathroom rendezvous at Thanksgiving really set something off for her, but
she
don't know how to do sex in sanitary places anymore. She only does it on toilets. She does it on buses. Like,
bad.
It needs to be dirty for Alicia to be fulfilled.
Oh, well, that could be psychoanalyzed, I'm sure. However, at the end of this, Alicia,
I don't know if you're gonna like talk about the fact like Alicia leaves the bus.
Well, first of all, she comes out of this and she's like fine. Peter is like exhausted, like beyond, his mind was blown. Okay, and she's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go now. And he's like, don't you need any water? She's like, I guess, fine, I'll take it.
He's like, Peter is confused because
Yes,
Alicia is in all her glory. Like Alicia is in her like boss babe like energy right now. She's just like, yeah, we just had sex. I did that damn thing, and I'm about to take the walk of glory. It's not a walk of shame. It's a walk of glory. And she's like, I'm about to do the day. And Peter's like, so like, should we talk about like what's going on? And she's like, no, I'm good. I just need to get my rocks off. I'm good. Like, I don't know what your problem is, but I'm good. So whatever. And Peter's like, okay, all right, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna keep asking.
I'm not gonna mess up a good thing. Yeah, like
and Alicia just like leaves, and Eli's just standing there. He's like, what's happening? She's like, don't mind me, just the wife.
And I gotta tell you again, like last episode we cataloged like Eli's worst day. Like this day also not great for him because he sees her walk out and then like turns around and he's like, what?
But it could have been so much worse for Eli because it could have been anything going on that bus, and whoever walked, like, thank God it was Alicia. Like, thank God it was just Alicia that walked out after all he heard when he was outside the bus.
Yes,
thank God it's got to be some other scandal. It's Alicia, and just the way, just the sachet that Alicia had as she's like walking away from you, like, bye Eli, just
bye.
Like just as satisfied and like as happy as can be. Walk of glory, not walk of shame, but walk of glory.
Yes, agreed.
So good. I wish we would have got more like. No one needs justification, but I wish we would have got like some more motivation of what is setting Alicia off here.
I wonder if we're gonna see that explored in upcoming episodes. Like, I feel like she felt good that she got one over on Lewis Canning, even though the whole thing, like, she's confident, she's running high, she's like, she can't run to Will like she would.
We didn't talk anything about that. Like, there's nothing like, there's no one-off.
There was no bankruptcy chat in this one for sure. Yeah. So Eli, Jordan, and Peter debrief about the speech in the trailer / bus, and
they're like, what's that smell? smells like sex.
They all know. Like, you cannot hide that. Like, it just
why smell like ass in here? why does it smell like incense in this bus? Why does the refrigerator door have a butt dent in it?
Okay. All right. Okay. Yes. So Eli is taking this as like, hey, the press is gonna love this. You showed strength. You did all this stuff. You're so brave. If those ASAs come out of the woodworks, like, they're gonna go down. And Jordan is like, yeah, way to win by pissing off minorities. Like, this is great. And this is where we see this is where Eli's mind is, I think, at this moment. He's like, I don't care how I win. A win is a win. And Jordan hears this and he like walks out, but gives Peter a look. And Peter's like, listen, go easy on this guy. We're going to need him because I know you're getting investigated. And I think that was kind of like, I hope. I mean, I know Eli wants to win no matter what, but I hope that was like, oh, maybe I'm in too deep. Like, maybe I need to focus on not getting investigated by the feds so that I can then be a better campaign manager, because I did not like this version of Eli in the bus.
He goes, this is your sister soldier moment. It's like, not sister soldier. I also wondered if this was Eli thinking like, I mean, maybe Peter's not riding for me like I thought he would be, because Peter's like, listen, bro, if you go down, I need somebody else. Like, he wasn't like, we'll get to this, Eli. We'll fix this. He's like, I mean, listen, if you go down, somebody's got to be here. As in, like, you could go down, and I will distance myself from you if you go down.
Well, the thing is that Peter is a lot like Eli, and he will win at any cost. He doesn't care if Eli is there or not. Like, he does, but he doesn't. He does as far as it will benefit him, because he's Peter effing Florrick. Not that
quite literally this episode. Peter was effing the floor. That's for damn sure.
So Eli goes back to Lockhart Gardner. Everyone's there having some champagne, celebrating Elsbeth's release and win of the arbitration and everything. She's just like thanking her friends, like it's so nice that everyone's here. Eli's there. Alicia comes out and is like, "Hey, what's going on?" And
Alicia,
Eli,
who always has to make it about her, she's like, "Oh,
yeah,
you must be here for me, Eli."
like, "No, I'm not here for you. But you do know I'm being investigated." And she goes, "Yeah, and you do know that I'm being edged out of the campaign." She's like, "No, I did not know about
And
that."
she seemed really concerned, like
Yeah.
as if like, "Oh my god, my friend is being edged out of the campaign." I was like, "Oh, okay, it's a nice
Yeah,
sweet
let's
moment
be
between the two."
friends.
Oh, Eli, I'm sorry to hear that. Not like, oh, whatever.
And he's like, "And you know, you guys can't represent me anymore because you're also being investigated." She's like, "Yeah, I did hear that." And so Eli's like, "So I'm gonna need a lawyer." Elsbeth, got a minute?
Yes, which means we will be having more Elsbeth in our lives
Yes.
this season. Love it, love it, love it. I'm glad we got Elsbeth back. I think this is the first time in season 4
Yeah.
season 4 we've seen her. So down for it. Who else do I need to see this season? Have you seen Colin Sweeney this season?
No.
No, Colin Sweeney. I need some Colin Sweeney in my life. I need some Kurt. Where's Kurt? I was hoping that Diane would be like,
Oh, we
but
need Mill. Yeah.
I'm going camping with Kurt this weekend. Will?
Yeah. Or like, yeah. I mean, I guess Gary Cole on Veep at this time? Was he Veeping?
Possibly, very
Or
possible.
West Winging? No, he was Veeping. Like there was a moment where Gary Cole, I think, was on every show on television.
I mean, listen, he's on the #1 hit show nowadays, which is for some reason always NCIS. He's the lead guy over there now, taking over for the other old guy,
Who
Mark
was
Harmon.
also on The West Wing.
Yeah. So Gary Cole's having a fine life right now. Okay.
Live it up, Gary.
Live it up, live it up. So yeah, more Ellsworth to come, I'm sure. Intrigued to see everything's going to go down with the campaign. How that's all going to go. We'd love to see more Peter in our lives, right, Marissa?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love to see Peter being held accountable for racial bias. I love it.
That was a conversation that's been coming for a long time. We've been kind of like it's been simmering, but now I feel like it's ramping up a little bit. This was an interesting episode where it feels like it could have been like dropped in anywhere, right? Like,
yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Like it didn't really mention any of the other stuff that was going on besides the campaign. The campaign's really like the only thing, but even within the campaign, the only thing that tied it to the episode before that was Jordan.
True. Yeah, we still have any of the firm like things that were going on, like about the debts, about Lewis Canning. We still don't know what happened to Nick. We don't know where that guy is.
We don't need to know. It's fine.
We never need to know. We can just assume things.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna assume Kalinda did something, but I don't know.
Never know. Marissa, you want to tell the people where they can find you?
You can find me, first of all, here on the Good Pod with you, Jason. You can find links to both our YouTube and our audio version over at itsmemarissag.com. You can also find a link to my conversations over on Whirlwind Podcast, where I'm watching Pretty Little Liars, one previously on at a time. And my sister and I are watching Star Trek The Next Generation for the first time over on USS Sisterhood. So that is where you can find me. Jason, what's going on with you?
You can find me on the Perfect Match podcast. We are on Patreon right now. We're getting ready to start up our rewatch of season 10, Married at First Sight, one of the golden seasons of that show. Me and Asia Welch are ramping up our Patreon content. So come on over to Patreon to the Perfect Match podcast and check us out if that is something that you are into. That's me. That's Marissa. That's this episode. Until next time, stay good.